impresses me about him, not just as a goalkeeper, but as a human being, how he deals with players, how he is off the field, anything of that nature.
Yeah, aside from his abilities as a goalkeeper, whether it's shot stopping, his commanding of the area, and his build-up play with his feet, I think his emotional intelligence in the locker room and off the field has been very important for this group, and has been quite impressive from an observant role that I have. And we've been blessed to have him here, and I don't think we would have achieved our goals that we've already achieved in the short time he's been here without him.
Do any specific examples of that emotional intelligence come to mind?
Yeah, there are a number of moments, whether it's halftime or after games, where things have gone well or not gone well. The choice of his words, the timing of the words, has been perfect and much needed by the group. Um, I can be as specific as that, but I can't get into what exactly was said.
Understood. Now, was it his initiative to come here? Because I think John Thornton went to Europe to talk to him. Was that on the club's initiative? Was he going there to explore what Ugo was interested? Do you recall how all of that happened?
That would be a question for John and Hugo.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh? Steve, there is a 10-day transfer window open. I'm just wondering if you're anticipating any moves. I mean, we're halfway through it now. Do you think something will happen to the club?
We are proofing everything, and always trying to strengthen our roster. And anytime a window does open, we take it seriously. And so we are hard at work. But I don't have any more information than that.
I guess I should wait if something gets done to ask some questions.
Yeah.
There's been thank you for
Mhm.
doing that. There has been a lot of chatter about sort of the players' end of the World Cup fee that teams
Mhm.
are getting. Seattle Sounders have made a big deal about it. I know Mark Delgado spoke about that after the Montreal match. Has that been something that you've noticed? Is the talk within inside the club, and what do you make of those discussions?
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot in this building that goes on that I don't know, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, but I think the way our players dealt with it last week was very professional, and judging by their performance, I can tell you and confirm it did not affect the performance, which is exactly how it should happen. Um, Moving forward, what agreements they made, all of that I stay away from. That's between the players and the organizations and their players association and the league and all of the entities that get involved. So um, I can just tell you I was happy with how the players dealt with their situations and their jobs last week.
As a player, do you understand as a former player, I should say, do you understand the position they've taken, and do you find it valid?
Honestly, I don't. I'm not in the meetings, so I don't know exactly what points and arguments are being made. The fact that athletes try to maximize um, their potential monetarily in a short window of a career is normal and is valid. Um, Careers can be ended tomorrow, so of course that's understandable from my perspective. But there are also other things involved, and the parties who um, need to decide this are at the table deciding, and I can speak for our players at LAFC. It will be done in a professional manner, and it won't affect our performances. And I think that's the expectations of our fans, and that is certainly my expectation.
The Kansas City match that you have in front of you, sort of falling in between all of this, how do you treating it like another MLS match, 3 points, the sort of this typical stance that you guys have taken in 2 weeks? Is there any difference this week, or is it business as usual around here?
Yeah, I think in the last 3 minutes I've spoken more about the Club World Cup than I have the entire week. Um, we've been just talking about Kansas City and MLS, and we've been good, I think, over the last couple of years of keeping the message about the next task at hand, and that's what we've been doing, and we're prepared for Kansas City, and we're looking forward to it.
And last for me, just in terms of the players that you have available, What's Cengiz Ünder's status? And then you have some players as well on international duty. So what are you thinking about your options this week?
Yeah, David Martinez is away with Venezuela. Nate Ordaz with El Salvador. And Cengiz Ünder is still out. He will have an injury that will keep him out for a couple of weeks, we think. But we'll just have to keep updating that as we get more updates and see how the healing process goes. And yeah, options are there. We have capable attackers on this roster who will be on the field Sunday and will hopefully make a difference.
We'll move to take questions online. Dave Denholm, go ahead.
Hey Steve, why the uptick lately for Sporting Kansas City? What do you guys notice? They're playing a lot better.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell you exactly what's going on. I can just observe, like you, their performances they have turned out. I don't know what's going on in training. I don't know the messaging of Kerry, who we obviously know very well, and is doing a good job from what I can tell, but also expected. But you can definitely see a little more intensity in their work against the ball, a little more connected. They're more connected. I think they are all on the same page, which I think is noticeable in the last couple of performances, and that makes a big difference. So what exactly he's doing and what exactly he's saying in order to achieve that, I don't know, and I won't speculate.
Thank you.
All right, Tom Hindle, go ahead.
Hi, Steve. I'm just wondering about the Club World Cup. There's been a lot of discussion around it. What would be success for you guys in the tournament?
Maximizing our potential in our performances. I think it would be crazy for me to sit here and say, oh yeah, we're going to get 1.8 points or something or score 2. I don't know. So we'll take it one game at a time, and we're very focused on each opponent, and we will have our solutions for each opponent. And then it comes down to performing and applying those solutions in each particular match that presents itself with 3 very different problems. And so we'll take it match to match, but I think at the end of the tournament, whatever that may be for us, if we can, and that's our goal, is to say, look, we gave it our best shot, we played as well as we possibly could, and what happens with results, we will see. But I think we would be disappointed if we do not give it our best shot, and that's where our focus is.
For sure. And as a quick follow-up to that, mate, if you don't mind me asking, is the mentality any different to maybe a normal MLS game, just given that it's a new competition and there's all this discussion about, format and that kind of thing, if that makes sense?
Of course. It's a different format, a different competition, different opponents. The preparation will be similar. We have a way of working here that we won't change just because it's a Club World Cup. But I think it's in a different environment. Again, different opponent. There's a different patch on the shoulder. So yes, I think it's a different. There will be a different feeling about it for our group, but I think we can say with confidence that over 3.5 years, this team has performed in every competition and has given every competition its best. And we will do that next week.
All right. Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back. That's for you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Ryan and Jeremy.
I'm doing a feature on Hugo Lloris. I'd like to ask you some questions about him. What is he like as a human being, just in the locker room, off the field? What most impresses you about him as a man in those contexts?
He's one of the nicest players we have. I think there's absolutely no ego when it comes with Hugo, and a great veteran with tons of experience and a great leader, but willing to help in any way he can. There's so much humility in the way that he carries himself and the way he works, and how much he cares for this team, even at this stage of his career, having done so much, having won so much. It's amazing how much he cares for this group and how much he still wants to win.
What most impresses you about him on the field as a goalkeeper, in the way he reads the game, directs the defense, or what makes him be unique in that role beyond the obvious of his experience in this
I think he is extremely good building out with his feet. I think it's a really underrated skill of his. I mean, everyone talks about Hugo Lloris and what a great shot stopper he is and how good of a leader he is, and he's great in the air and all these things. But I think he's amazing with his feet building out. He's got a wicked left foot, and it's something that we utilize a lot as a group. I also think his ability to hold on to shots, really tough shots in certain moments, to not parry them into difficult or dangerous positions for rebounds and second shots. His ability to hold some of these shots wows us as players during the game. Sometimes a really tough shot will deflect or something, and he'll hold it, and I'll be like, wow, it's amazing that he just held on to that, instead of parrying it to the side, offer a goal kick or offer a corner or something else. So yeah, those are the two things that I guess stand out the most to me, aside from the rest of his game that's incredible.
Thank you.
Yep.
Max, go ahead.
Just you personally have a sense of accomplishment after a game when you catch yourself after the euphoria of beating Club America, a game many people can give you a chance against. Just when you have a moment to yourself, just some of the thoughts that come to mind as a professional.
Yeah, there's certain games that are going to stand the test of time and that are going to be talked about for a long time. And as you go through your career as a footballer, you know that you're going to win some of these games, you're going to lose some of these games. And no matter which one it is, you're going to still remember it forever. So when you win it, it's so sweet. And to be able to talk about this personally or as a club, and the way that the club can reflect on this as one of our great moments going forward as part of this club's history, it's huge, man. And it means so much to so many people that have came before us, the people that are here now, the people that have been here since the beginning, and something for the players and the staff and whoever else comes in the future to continue putting our standard at the highest level.
Just as a spectator, it was like, I had to go to bed after that. I wanted to go out. I couldn't. And I imagine for you, what was that? How does that compare physically and emotionally as a taxing event for you? And I know you have to leave early because you're cramping.
Yeah. I think most games, for me, when I get home, it's hard for me to sleep, right? There's adrenaline, you're taking caffeine. But sometimes the biggest games, when you think you have the most adrenaline and you're going to be up all night, but physically and emotionally, you're so spent. So I went home and I passed out within 30 minutes, which is super, super rare. But I think just leaving it all out there physically and mentally, you get home and your body's truly exhausted. And then I think the next day when you wake up, everything can kind of hit you. You can go back on social media or talk to your friends and family and see the reactions of everyone and see the fan reactions and the player reactions, and all the videos start rolling in, and that euphoria comes again. But on that night, just spent, just leaving it all out there.
Obviously, you're not going to think about the Club World Cup till next week, but this Sporting Kansas City game, you need to get points in your MLS campaign. Does the cadence help you this week? This game wasn't scheduled here originally, but do you think you would prefer it, obviously, to have something so you guys can stay?
Yeah, for sure. I think it helps the group, right? It can build confidence if we go out there and take care of business in the right way. It can build confidence in the group, extend an unbeaten run where we've been really good. But I think more than anything, seeing the level that we played at against America gives us a standard as well as a club and as a players, as a group. Can we play to this standard every game, no matter who we're playing? And then if we do, we feel really confident about our results after that. So it's just another way for us to keep the ball rolling as we go to this Club World Cup.
All right. Michael, go ahead, online.
Aaron, thanks for the time. I wanted to ask for I'm sure you saw the position taken by Seattle's players surrounding their entry into the Club World Cup and the distribution, and I wondered your reaction and your position on their position.
Yeah, I think it's super understandable why they're frustrated, right? Like we've now officially been in this tournament for 4 or 5 days, and we're eagerly waiting a proposal from the MLS and wondering, when it's coming, why it's not here yet. These clubs like Miami and Seattle have been in this situation for 4 months, 6 months, and have written letters privately to Don Garber. They've sent letters, they've done media, they've done press, they've shown their frustration. So to not hear anything for that long, of course the frustrations are going to bubble over, and actions are going to get taken. So, I mean, we stand with them, we support them, of course, as a fellow club that just wants a fair share going into this tournament.
Pregunta en español. Antes del partido de América habló contigo y tú me lo dijiste que LAFC debería calificar al Mundial
Directo.
Directo.
Claro.
Después del partido, siento que
Ah.
prefieres esa
Sí,
manera para...
claro. No, después del partido, con el resultado, sabiendo el resultado, la experiencia que vivimos, el partido, lo histórico que fue para el club, ahora me quedaría con el partido, evidentemente. Pero bueno, sabemos cómo van las cosas aquí, sabemos los intereses que pueden haber de hacer un partido y bueno, también sentimos pues que así no nos han regalado el estar, ¿sabes? Nos lo hemos ganado, es como si hubiéramos ganado una final de Champions con CONCACAF, así que también me alegra mucho por el equipo y esta victoria, como dije, nos tiene que ayudar a poner el listón ahí. O sea, ahora no podemos bajar de ahí. Ahora hemos demostrado de lo que somos capaces. Fue un gran partido, una gran actuación de todo el equipo y ahora tenemos que seguir en esa línea. Así que a ello vamos.
Y esta semana aquí en entrenamiento,
Sí.
otras emociones. ¿Se
Sí.
siente más como un equipo?
Sí.
¿Cómo es?
No, siempre somos súper unidos como equipo, pero sí que se nota esa alegría, toda la semana comentando el partido, las aficiones, el ambiente que vivimos, cómo los entrenadores fueron corriendo a celebrar el gol con todos nosotros, cómo veías a Max subido en el banquillo dando indicaciones, cómo veías que de repente Ryan estaba cansadísimo y le meten al extremo a Dilrosun contra él y esa situación, muchos comentarios, o yo que estaba cansado también y contra Brian Rodríguez, dices madre mía, ahora jugar contra este que es bueno y que es rápido y que es todo. Hemos comentado el partido, Igor, su primer gol, fue un partido espectacular, cómo nos ayudó Olivier también, impresionante. No sé, hay muchas cosas y la verdad que va a ser un partido que todos nos vamos a acordar en nuestra carrera seguro.
Joder, ¿qué memoria tienes?
Sí,
Claro,
no, yo de mucha memoria, con los partidos me acuerdo de cada detalle siempre. Sí,
Qué lindo.
gracias.
Sergi, what have you seen from the group coming out of the America match, just in terms of attitude? And Steve talked about like really solidifying togetherness.
Yes,
Have
yes.
you seen this?
Yes, we always been very solid group. We've been very together with each other. But yeah, for sure, one win like this makes the group together and makes everybody happy. And the guys that we start, we are so happy. But then the guys that they had a chance to participate, they were so good, and now they are starting to be more confident and to helping more the team. So everybody is happy, the staff is happy. Even the guys that they didn't have the chance to play, they know the chance will come. They are working so good, and we are so happy to live this experience together. But as I said, no matter if losses or wins, we always stay very together in this club. This is one thing that I always said, and I really appreciate from this group.
What's it been like to switch from the build-up to America, playing that match, and now you have hosting Sporting Kansas City in a league contest? Just the regular deal for LAFC that you've always experienced, another game coming up, or has this one felt a little bit different in some way?
No, it's another game. It's just like another 11 against 11 game that we want to win. Is of course America was special, but this one is so important for us. We don't want to go to the Club World Cup with a loss on our record. We want to go with a 10 unbeaten streak, and it will be so important. We need these 3 points. We already lost 2 points in Montreal, 2 points in Galaxy, San Luis, at home, Austin. We lost so many points that in normal conditions we cannot concede, and we have the motivation for this weekend. And as I said, now we show what we are capable of with that good performance against America. Now this is the standard. We cannot allow us to be worse than that. The levels of intensity and game and everything, they have to be on point, and we train that way. This week was such a good way of training, so we are going for it. Yeah, thank you.
Michael, if you have any questions for Sergi, go ahead.
Sergi, hi. Thanks
Hi.
for your time. I just wanted to speak, to ask rather about the process of physical recovery and what happens behind closed doors at the PC after a 120-minute slugfest and preparing yourself for what's next from a physical standpoint.
Yes, it was kind of easy because we had a 1 week and 1 day to recover and to prepare well this game. If the game against Kansas would be on Wednesday, it would be a really tough situation for us. But having 1 week and 1 day is much easier. We had the chance that the coaching staff saw a lot of people tired, and we had 2.5 days of rest. So it was awesome for us to enjoy this win, to have fun a little bit the next day, having a dinner together, and it was easy to recover. Then, of course, the adrenaline, and you are so excited, and I feel like when you have this joy and this moment of excitement, I feel like you recover better, and this also helped us. I didn't see any sort of fatigue during the week, so we were ready to play our 100% against Kansas. When we play World Cup, the Club World Cup will be tough because we play every 4 days, but we have a good team of the physical trainers. Everyone is so good, and we have so many tools to recover and to adjust.
I guess I asked Steve about this. I'm wondering, obviously you've heard the Seattle Sounders players comment about the Club World Cup and the amount of money that they're getting, and Mark Delgado made some comments from the LAFC side, but otherwise you guys have remained pretty quiet about it. Steve called it professional, I think. Just what is that discussion in terms of your mind? Is that something that you've paid a lot of attention to, and what's the status of that, if you can sort of share?
Yeah, we came into the conversation a lot later than Seattle and Miami. They've known about it for months. I know that they have been quietly and respectfully going to the league and going through the right channels to try to get this fair treatment for the bonuses paid out. We obviously have come into the scene later, but are also going through those channels as well. It's a weird structure of the league, right? So our owners have a feeling, and then they've got to convince the other owners, and the league has to agree to it as a whole. And what's clear is something has to change. The MLS needs to make some sort of proposal to change up what the percentages are now, and the ball is in their court. Like, as players, we're not being treated fairly, for sure, but as players, like, we want to play, we don't want to deal with this side of things. So the goal, and I think what's best for everybody, is we politely ask and make the case, and they come back with a proposal, and we can solve things internally, so it doesn't have to get to Seattle wearing shirts and trying to make a public, because it gets to a point where it's like, hey, we've tried everything we can, and you're not playing ball or making any sort of proposal or offer. And so I understand their frustration. I understand why they took the step that they did. And from our internal conversations, our owners are there with us, wanting to help out and wanting to get us a better share, but they're not the only ownership group there, and we're obviously not a part of those conversations. So I don't know how hard they're pushing or what those conversations look like, but something needs to change. Otherwise, the players are forced to take it into our own hands and make a scene of it, and that's not what anybody wants. It's not what we want to do. We're footballers, we're not advertisers or picketers or we're footballers. We want to play the game. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah. I mean, you want to cover anything else? No, Ryan definitely covered it most. I would just reiterate the fact that this shouldn't be an adversarial conversation. Like, we should be working hand in hand with MLS to best represent, as one of the 3 teams that are going, having 3 teams in the tournament. This is a moment to show the world that MLS is here to play, and instead we're having these distracting conversations because there is a lack of equity within the pay structure from the bonuses coming into the prize pool coming into the league. So we're disappointed by kind of where we stand right now, but we believe that there will be continue to be conversations behind the scenes that we can push for, and really just get on the same page, because that's what we want. I know that's what Seattle wants. I know that's what Miami wants, and we have a beautiful opportunity here at home to really deliver something spectacular for this league, and it would be nice if we were all working together towards that instead of trying to one-up each other.
Yeah, just follow on that. You used the word distracting, and I was wondering, is there a risk of a distraction here, or can you separate whatever's off the field with what's happening on the field competitively?
It's a distraction for sure. There's no way to beat around that bush. For us to go play 3 really important, meaningful games with the potential of making $0, zero incentive, no bonus, no pay, to go travel away from our families onto the East Coast for 2 weeks, play in some of the biggest games this club has ever been a part of, and there'd be literally zero incentive for the player. Doesn't matter if we win, draw, we get $0 more as incentive is impossible, just impossible. So to have that not be something that the players are thinking about, and honestly the club should be thinking about. The other thing is FIFA kind of created this, and it wasn't a part of the CBA talks when CBA was happening years and years ago. And so this is a new tournament. It should be coming with new rules, and the league needs to make that happen. As an aside, I've been watching like the TST, the soccer tournament that's going on right now, and I was like, oh my gosh, these guys, whoever wins this tournament is going to make more than us being in the Club World Cup as players. That's crazy. Like, the fact that we're even having these conversations is crazy. And again, I don't want to go after like certain ownership groups. I think from our conversations with our ownership group, they're trying to put their best foot forward. It's a weird structure with these owners and the league and all this stuff. And at some point, somebody's going to have to go in and fight for us. And so we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get, hopefully you don't have to take it much further than this. So.
And we see it around the world. Like the financial side of the game brings out the most difficult situations between player groups and management level, and it gets ugly. I'm Cameroonian, and I've seen kind of some of the results of disputes between the Cameroonian national team and the federation, and it makes things very difficult, and it doesn't look good for anyone. So again, hopefully we can get this resolved. We should all be on the same page, and hopefully in 10, 11 days, whatever it is, we're looking back on this as just a moment of the past and something that we can look forward to.
And last from me on this, does any of that filter into what you have to do against SKC on Sunday? I mean, have you felt that throughout the week? Has it changed maybe how a normal MLS week would go for you guys?
Yeah, again, you can't treat anything normal with this lingering in the background, and the fact that they've delayed as long as they have to make any sort of proposal to the players and to come to the table at all is of course it's going to affect this MLS game. It's going to affect us going into the Club World Cup, which is what we as players are trying to not have happen. But again, if they force our hand and nothing happens, then we have to take the only actions we can take, which is potentially something with the Kansas City game, potentially something with the beginning of the Club World Cup. And so that's where we just don't even want to, we don't want to get to those conversations. We're sad that we even have to even be having this conversation. It should be a celebration, right? Everybody should be celebrating. The league should be so happy. Our owners, I know, are so happy. We as players are so happy. It should be everybody together celebrating an amazing achievement and getting incentivized correctly the right way across the board. And so it stinks that we're having this conversation, but yeah, there's no way to move forward as if this isn't happening in the background, because as players we have to take advantage of every opportunity we can.
And the last thing I'll say is that it's not just about us. It's not just about LAFC, Seattle, and Miami. Who knows what the next tournament that's going to pop up next year or the following year. Who knows which team will be in it. So for me, I see it as, yes, we're the representatives this year, but I see it as a player issue for the future, because if we don't make clear our position now, then the standard has been established for future opportunities that may come onto our calendars.
Thanks.
All right. We'll move to take a couple questions online. Tom Hindle, go ahead.
Hi guys. if only to pile onto the Club World Cup talk. I'm curious what success would look like in the tournament for you.
I think the success is clear that we get out of our group, that we move forward out of the group stage of the Club World Cup. We see some opportunity within our group, obviously some amazing talent within the group as well, but we are not going there just to enjoy 3 games and come home. We're going there to fight for results and to move through to the next round, and we believe that we can do that.
Yeah, we fully believe we can do that, and like Ryan alluded to earlier, we're not traveling 14 days for guys leaving their families behind. You know, there's a little bit of sacrifice to this, and they're going to make sure that it's worth it. So, you know, we fully believe that we can get out of this group and represent ourselves well. And from there, anything can happen in a game of football. So, let's see what happens.
Okay, last question.
Follow up, guys, if you don't mind. Is the vibe different playing in this tournament to, say, a normal MLS game or a US Open Cup game or Leagues Cup? Does that make sense? Like, what are you expecting out of that? Maybe from even your own mentality?
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, obviously it's a prestigious tournament. We've seen it in different formats overseas. But for it to be kind of this grand event that FIFA's trying to put on a year before the World Cup, I think it adds a little bit of excitement. At the same time, we need to see what the situation is going to be like when you get to the games. Like, it could be tough to feel how grand of an atmosphere it is if some of the stadiums maybe aren't living up to our internal expectations. But overall, I think it's a huge opportunity, and we feel excited by the chance to play against some of these best teams in the world. And hopefully the spectacle outside of it matches, but we'll do our best to bring the spectacle on pitch.
Yeah, there's very few ways as club footballers to play at an international level, to play globally, and so this is the biggest opportunity to do that, to represent LAFC in a global way against the best teams in the world, best club teams in the world, and usually you're tied to your region, you're tied to your area, and so to be able to test ourselves against the best is amazing.